to another edition of Performance TV. And Tommy, we've got this older Chevy truck here. We're changing the transmission. Looks like you got it out.
Got this old transmission out, Kathy. I mean, we're ready to put a new one in it. And I'll tell you what, today we're going to have a guest here. It's called the Transmission Exchange Company, Greg. You know what? I'm a mechanic. I can take things apart and put them back together. But when it comes to the workings, the insides of a transmission, I don't need to go there. I don't know how it goes together. Unbolting it and putting a new one in is great. That's easy for me. That's what I like about your company. You send me a complete transmission, I send the old one back to you, you take care of it.
That's right. We have complete transmissions, and what we're talking about today is a heavy-duty utility transmission for your truck, for your Chevy, GM, Dodge, Jeep vehicle. Heavy-duty utility transmission is an upgrade over your standard transmission that comes with the vehicle. It has heavy-duty bands, heavy-duty clutches. This 96 Chevy even has extra clutches in the critical intermediate clutch. We have a Transgo reprogramming, a complete shift kit, which upgrades the shifts to more efficient shifts. They're crisper shifts, but they're not hard shifts. And what this does is it lowers the heat in the transmission by having less slippage and less overlap. And it also gives you a better feel on your shift for improved performance and better durability. The transmission will last longer.
Well, Greg, what I like is when I get this transmission, it's already been tested, ready to go, ready to stick in and go on the road.
That's correct. It's been tested on a dynamometer. The dynamometer will run the transmission just as if it was in the vehicle. As an engine, a load, they can test all the parameters, all the pressures. It goes in your vehicle, ready to run.
Well, that's what we want to get this one back to running again. Tommy, let's get this transmission in this truck. All right, we're ready to put this up in there, Tommy. And not only with the Transmission Exchange Company, you're going to get your transmission, but we need to put a new converter in. Well, and Greg, you guys can take care of all of that.
The torque converter comes with the transmission. It's also a heavy-duty upgraded torque converter. Has a tighter stall speed and it has internal upgrades. What Kathy's doing now, she's adding 1 quart of fluid to the torque converter just to lube the torque converter before we put it into the transmission.
And we already have the shaft taken care of here as well.
The shaft's greased. The torque converter has to be installed in the transmission, of course, before it is bolted to the engine.
Now, one thing, Greg, if somebody wanted to rebuild the one that they have in their car now, you sell all the parts for those so they can do it themselves at home.
Right, we have a website, onlinetransmissionparts.com, has a complete line of transmission parts, actually for standard automatics and transfer cases. But we have a kit called a heavy-duty rebuild kit that includes all the heavy-duty upgrade parts that we put in our heavy-duty transmissions so that you can do it yourself at home or in your shop. And it also has the parts that you'd normally always replace, like the steel line friction plates, the O-rings, sealer rings, lip seals, the seals, have a filter, popular bushings, complete kit for the parts that you'd always replace, plus the heavy-duty upgrade part.
Yeah, onlinetransmissionparts.com, and not just for the trucks like we're showing here and thinking towing and stuff, but hey, you even mentioned Camaros and Corvettes and other kinds of cars.
Right, a heavy-duty transmission is also a high-performance transmission. For a performance car, muscle car, hot rod, put an optional higher stall, street stall torque converter, and you have a good street performance transmission.
There you go.
I like this idea, Kathy, better. Get the complete transmission. As soon as you get done putting oil in the converter, we can get this thing put in.
It's burping over here a little bit, all right? Give me a minute.
All right, Kathy's got the oil in there. Let's put this torque converter on the transmission and get ready to put it in. Now, the slots here, Greg, you said you had to have those lined up, correct?
Right, you line up the slots. You want to make sure that the torque converter is all the way into the pump. You should get 2 clicks.
I had it pretty close lined up. I knew about where they're at. There it is. There it is. All right, perfect. When we get close over here, Kathy, I'll put the dipstick tube in it.
That'd be a great job for you.
What are you saying, dipstick?
Something like that.
There you go. Go ahead.
How are we doing?
Looks good so far. There you go. Go ahead.
The dust cover. All right, we've got it up in here. Tommy's going to start putting the bolts in the bell housing up here. When we come back, we're going to finish this job up.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by Low Carb Performance Products, is being brought to you by Transmission Exchange, premier supplier of transmissions, and by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
On Velocity.
Welcome back to Performance TV. Tommy, how you coming over there?
That's good. I got it all bolted up to the engine now, and I guess next step I'm going to start bolting in the torque converter.
You know, we have this brand new transmission in here, this brand new converter, but Greg, a lot of times people bypass one of the most important, smallest parts of this whole thing, and that's the cooler.
The cooling system on the transmission is critical. The sludge and the dirt from the old transmission will get trapped in the cooler and must be flushed. We have a kit that flushes the cooler for you, has an inline filter.
Yeah, because not everybody has that system like a lot of shops or garages would have, but yeah, you actually have a kit. That's cool.
But what we highly recommend is to replace the cooler with an auxiliary high capacity or extra high capacity cooler. That way you have a completely clean system. You have no sludge from the old transmission. Plus you have a lot more cooling capacity than you had with the original OEM.
Right. Heat is not a friend of anything that has to do with the transmission and converter.
Heat is the biggest enemy of a transmission. The number one failure cause of a transmission is always heat. And the number one way to prevent heat is a good cooler.
Okay. Tommy, how you coming along?
I hate to ask this, Kathy, but what's the instructions say are next?
You mean these things here, Tommy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Want to go ahead, hook up the linkage, and then we want to do the motor mounts, the tranny mounts before we start working our way back.
All right, here we go. All right, Kathy, I got the neutral safety switch on. Now I need to put the shift lever on. But first, I got to get this transmission jack out of the way.
Okay, if you can do that.
Drop it down.
See if we can push it forward here.
Nice to see it didn't fall.
Yeah, exactly. That's always a good thing.
Must mean all the bolts are tight.
Of course, then again, just for safety, we stuck this jack back here, too.
She doesn't trust me at all, I can see.
No.
All right, you go ahead. I'm going to put this on. You guys go ahead and do something else back there.
Okay, got the dust cap off, the tranny here, and what I need to put in now is this is what tells the tranny to do everything, what the engine's doing, what it needs to be doing, basically like the main wiring harness, right, Greg?
Right.
And snap, in it went.
Easy.
Okay, Tommy, I'm going to go ahead and get these lines in over here. All right, looks like you getting this under control here?
I think so. I think we got it.
Okay, well, you know what? I got to get out of here. I got a trip I need to make up to Bradford, Pennsylvania to the little power shop. You guys keep this under control here, and I'll see you later.
Looks like it's me and you, Greg.
Okay, we're on.
At least you left the instructions. All right, we got everything handled here. Transfer case, dry shaft, and then we're ready to put this in.
Then ready to roll.
All right, let's put the transfer case on here. All right, Greg, we got this transfer case up on this jack. It'll be a little easier to put it up in there. All we got to do is jack this thing up, put this transfer case in, and put the dry shaft in. That's about all we got left, isn't it?
Right, we'll just put little Permatex on the gasket and plug it in and plug in the two drive shafts.
Perfect. That sounds like a great plan. I'm glad to get this thing wrapped up, get it back on the road. I'll tell you what, we got to get this done, but we got to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to check in on Kathy in Bradford, Pennsylvania.